1 comma 1. So those are your 2 points where they intersect. Okay. All right, solve the system of equations. Have they taught you matrices yet?
No.
Okay.
Is that, I've heard of it. Is that in the calculator?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I go get my calculator real quick? It's in my car.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? You don't have to get it. I'll just show you how to do it.
Okay.
I'll pull up my calculator. You can just watch. Now, this is not really how they want you to do it, but it's definitely the easiest way to do it. So what you do is you take your calculator, and your first matrix is called your coefficient matrix. So I take all the coefficients. So 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So I put all those coefficients here. Don't forget to hold the place with the 0 if necessary. You follow what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying by that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then you've got the variable matrix, which is X, Y, Z. You actually don't have to put that in anywhere. I'm just showing you. And then you have the solution matrix, which is 8, 17, 16. You see where I came up with those?
Yeah.
So we're going to call that matrix B. So then all you have to do is you put these into your calculator. I'll show you how to do that. And then you basically are going to divide to solve for this, just kind of like a math equation, right? If I had A times X equals B. Now, what you would normally do is you would divide by A, right? Both sides. But you can't do that with matrices. There's no such thing as dividing in matrices. But what you can do is you can multiply by the inverse. You're going to multiply it by the inverse of that A matrix. And when you do that, you'll get the answer. Okay. So that's theoretically what we're doing. So now I'm going to show you how to do that. You go see where it says matrix to the right. It's like underneath the math button, the yellow, the orange underneath the math button. Do you see it?
The second button?
Yeah, the second button. So I'm going to name my A matrix. I'm going to edit my A matrix. So I go edit matrix, and you're going to have to put in three rows and 3 columns. So 3, enter 3. So see how it's a 3 by 3 matrix?
Yeah.
And then just literally plug in across 1, 0. I'm hitting enter. 1, enter, 0, enter. 1, enter. 1, enter. 1, enter. 2, enter. 1, enter. 2, enter. 1, enter. So there's my A matrix. Okay. And I'm done making it. Now let's do the same thing. Let's go back to matrix, second matrix, and let's edit. So I went over to edit. Let's edit the B matrix. And this B matrix is 3 rows by 1 column. Got it? So this is a 3 by 1 matrix, and this is a 3 by 3 matrix, just so you know. And I'm going to just type in 8, enter, 17, enter, 16, enter. Okay, and now let's quit. It's second mode, which is quit, and go back out. So now I'm going to type in A, and I'm going to type in A. So let me see if I actually can even do this with, do I have letters up here anywhere? I guess I don't have letters on this. So I'm going to go back to matrix, and I'm going to grab that A matrix, hit enter. And then you see this little sign I had to use. Look over to the left. You see that little inverse symbol? That's actually happens to be underneath the matrix button. So hit that, and then go back to your matrix and type in the B button. So you see what that's doing? It's multiplying the inverse of A by B. In other words, it's dividing B by A, which is kind of like how I would solve for X. Divide B by A. But I can't divide. I have to multiply by the inverse. And when I do that, whoops, I lost my matrix there somehow. Whoops, cancel. Second matrix B. When I hit enter, watch what it gives me. It tells me my matrix, my answer is 3, 4, 5. And remember what those were? X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So x equals 3, y equals 4, and z equals 5. So that's the easiest way to do these problems if they're allowing you to use a graphing calculator. Now, they might trick you and they might ask you to like set it up or something like that, or they might ask you to show a couple steps first. So the other way to do this with the elimination is to try to take two of them, like just try to basically eliminate one of the variables using, so you can see that you've already eliminated, there's no y in this. So why don't we eliminate the y in these two? That would be the best thing to do. Eliminate the y. So I'm going to multiply this one by -2 to eliminate the y. That would give me -2x minus 2y minus 4z equals -34. And then I don't have to change this one. I'm just going to write it underneath it so you can see. And now add those straight down. You get -x, those go away. -3z equals -18. Right? So now take this equation along with this equation and eliminate one of those. X plus z equals 8. I actually don't have to do anything to this because what's going to be eliminated when I add them?
The x.
That's right. Oh my gosh, well, -18. So add those down. I get -2z equals -10, which means z equals 5. Hey, look at that. Z equaled 5. Now I can go back and plug it in to find out what x equals. So if z equals 5, that means x equals, you can do that in your head, right? X equals 3. And I'll plug those both back into one of the other equations. Let's say x plus y plus 2z equals 17. Plug in 3 and plug in 5 to solve for z, or to solve for y, and you go y equals 4. So that would have been the other way to do it. That would have been the elimination way of doing it, which wasn't really that hard in that case, but you have to know what to do first, right? Since we have a y eliminated, that means that it's the easiest to eliminate the y in the other two equations and then combine them together.
Yeah.
Got it? But this method called matrix is really nice. It's a really nice thing to know how to do.
So if the y isn't eliminated, you just go back. So you have to do 2 then, right? You have to
Correct. Yeah.
you
You'd have to double up. You'd have to do both. You'd have to do that with like these two, eliminate the y.
Simplified ones, right? And then that's
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So it would just be a little bit more work.
All right.